My name is Giulietta Marinucci, and I'm the president of the photography club. This is our first year here at MLK Day, and we're so happy to be here. Thank you for having us.
Hello, my name is Gloria Lumbrano Torres, president of the Young Scholars. Welcome to our 6th annual Martin Luther King Day. We are so happy to have you here, and enjoy.
Hi everyone, I'm Jaime Hunt. I'm the co-captain of the in-town step team. Matthew McCray is the captain of step team. Give him a round of applause. In-town step is very excited to be here. Our first ever performance was last year at MLK. Thank you to Ms. Maguire, and we're very excited to be here today. Thank you.
Muy buenos días y bienvenidos. Somos el grupo Jóvenes en Acción. Estamos muy contentos de haber formado un nuevo grupo este año. Les damos la más calurosa bienvenida por acompañarnos en esta mañana.
Good morning and welcome. We are Jóvenes en Acción. We are very happy to have started this new group this year, and we are honored to participate in this wonderful event for the first time.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jada Thompson, and I'm currently Norristown's first Black Student Union President and a member of Young Scholars. All right, welcome to Norristown Area High School's 6th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Day of Diversity. Hey, that jump slick. All right. So the 21st century after-school programs are so honored to celebrate Dr. King and his dream of equality for all. We do acknowledge that the current climate and culture of American society is divided. We know that neighbors and even families can clash over issues of immigration, women's rights, police brutality, and marginalization due to race, religion, gender, ethnicity, and socioeconomic status. However, we also acknowledge that in the Norristown Area High School District, students, teachers, and even staff work together to make a difference. We unite for justice as students when we protest against gun violence. We unite for justice as a building when we celebrate events like the Women's Empowerment Summit and Unidad's Diversity Day. And we unite for justice today as a district when we strive to accomplish the goals of the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as we follow his dream and his words. The time is always right to do what is right. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rita, and I'm one of the presidents of GSA, and we're really happy to be here. Happy MLK Day.
Hi, I'm Cameron.
And I'm Devin.
We would now like to welcome today's keynote speaker, Judge Gregory Scott. Judge Scott is an alumni of Eisenhower Middle School.
He received his bachelor's degree from Chestnut Hill College in Business Communications and a master's in psychology from the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. Judge Scott has been volunteering in Norristown since the young age of 11 years old, but when he was 28, he decided he wanted to give back to his community in another way.
With only an idealistic dream and the support of his friends and family, he started to campaign for a position on the magisterial court in Norristown. Through his determination to make a difference, he won the election and became the first African-American judge in Montgomery County, and at the time, the youngest African-American judge in Pennsylvania.
In addition to his work on the bench, Judge Scott has been volunteering as a mentor in many schools in the district, including the high school. He has also traveled to South Africa and Nicaragua to make a global difference with his church, Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church. Please give a round of applause for the Honorable Judge Gregory Scott.
Note to self, when you're on the program, sit closer to the stage. Good morning, Norristown. Oh, good morning, Norristown. It's so good to see all of you here today. First, thank you for that beautiful, warm introduction to the students. And let's give a round of applause to just Miss Jill Maguire for putting this thing together. Her leadership, her hard work and dedication to the district and our students. She consistently goes above and beyond the call of duty and is really, I like to say when I go out and I speak to teachers and stuff, I'm so appreciative of teachers because she's an embodiment of what a 2019 teacher is today. They're a social worker, a hairstylist, a trauma care counselor, support worker, and the list goes on, and she's awesome. To all the parents, grandparents, and guardians in the building today, thank you for coming out and being supportive of our young scholars. As it was mentioned in the introduction, my name is Gregory Scott, and on December 21st, 2015, I became the first African-American magisterial district judge in Montgomery County and the youngest sitting judge in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And much of that is due to the hard work and dedication of my mom. I grew up in a single-family household. My mom is actually here with me today, and my niece is here, so big shout out to those folks. But it was, thank you. But it was also due to the many teachers and leaders along my path, one of who is here today, Miss Martina Walls, who's the principal of Stewart Middle School, who, contrary to popular belief, I wasn't always the best academic. And in fact, I found myself in 6th grade at Eisenhower, and I failed. And so I had to go to Stewart Middle School for summer school, and I had Miss Walls, and she basically slapped me and said, "What the heck are you doing here?" But it was because of a person like her, people like my mother, who kept me along, who kept me on the right path, and that's the reason why I stand here today. I stand on the shoulders of those people. So let's give those people a big round of applause. It is ironic that I speak here on diversity on Martin Luther King Day this year. You know, I'm in the district schools and schools throughout the Commonwealth frequently, especially between January and February 28th, the last day of Black History Month, for obvious reasons. But when I visit the district schools, one of the things that I walk away with the most is that it's literally a microcosm of America. I look out in the audience today, we have different types of people. Everyone does not look the same. We come from different backgrounds. And I like to say today that diversity is a strength. Let's be clear on that fact. And I believe that Dr. King knew that. And it wasn't just about being black or white. It's about all demographics, all socioeconomic statuses. And all of those things lead to a great diverse dialogue. And when we have diverse dialogue, we all walk away better informed citizens of this country and able to make better decisions. In 1963, we all know that Dr. King was incarcerated in the Birmingham jail. He challenged our consciousness and the consciousness of America when he penned the words, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." We are caught in an inescapable network of brutality tied to a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. He wanted us to understand our interrelatedness in addressing social inequalities that infringe on human beings' abilities to live a life of dignity. For far too long, disenfranchised populations have suffered in a punitive prison system that offers no viable pathways to re-entering society. We all know about that because we know what Meek Mill went through, right? So we know about that situation, but really it's just a highlight, a magnification on the broader system at large. And today, over 2 million Americans are incarcerated in a system that does not offer the resources to bring out their intellectual and creative genius. And invariably, the world at large is impacted. Families are fractured, children are missing out on relationships with their parents. Furthermore, the average annual cost to incarcerate prisoners is over $32,000. Prisons are draining financial resources that can be used, and I think your principal and your superintendent and the school board recognize that those monies can be used in improving not only our families and our communities, but our schools as well. Why does that matter today? Why is this little kid from Norristown who grew up at Spruce and Willow Streets and went to the Dragon and to Jules every day, telling you this today. And that's because I recently read a report that a black male dropout has a 70% chance of being incarcerated. That percentage is 3 times lower from white male dropouts. And by the age of 14, a child born to a black father who dropped out of high school has a 50% chance of having a dad in prison. Less than 10% of white dads without a diploma wind up in prison, the study shows. It's a very dramatic statement, and the consequences that occur it's a very dramatic statement about the importance of keeping scholars like you in school and the consequences that occur when you don't. As a judge, when you break a rule or you make a mistake and break the law, my only consequence is to fine you or incarcerate you generally. And if I find you and you don't pay the fine, then my option whittles down to only one, and that's to incarcerate you. Coretta Scott King once said, "The struggle is never-ending process. Freedom is never really won. You earn it and you win it in every generation." Dr. and Mrs. King understood that justice and equality achieved in one generation can be threatened in the next. Thus, they embraced every small victory. Incremental progress served as a foundation for progress well beyond their lifetime. We have to acknowledge the progress that has been made since Dr. King delivered his famous speech and since he wrote that letter in the Birmingham jail. But we also have to acknowledge that there is way more to go. My assistant recently asked me, "Why do you always like going to all these schools?" And I told her that it's because of young people like all of you. You're bold, you're fearless, you're not jaded, the world hasn't processed you yet. You're the future billionaires. Is any billionaires in the audience today? Future tech leaders. I love when I come to you and I present such a complex issue and then you spit back such a simple solution. I often find that adults and cowards in leadership live in a climate of fear, where working together to solve a problem can cause a severe backlash that's akin to political suicide. But there comes a time when the cry for humanity stirs so deeply that even fear must adhere to its cry. When faced with political fears, Dr. King said, "Cowardice asks the question, is it safe? Expediency asks the question, is it politic? Vanity asks the question, is it popular? But conscience asks the question, is it right?" And there comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe, nor politic, nor popular, but one must take it because one's conscience tells it that it's right. You know, 6 months before Dr. King was assassinated, he spoke to a group of students at Barrett Junior High School in Philadelphia on October 26, 1967. And I'd like to close reading verbatim his speech. It's short. I promise I'm done after this. He said, "I want to ask you a question, and that is, what is your life's blueprint? Whenever a building is constructed, you usually have an architect who draws a blueprint, and that blueprint serves as the pattern, has the guide, and a building is not well erected without a good, solid blueprint. Now each of you is in the process of building the structure of your lives. And the question is whether you have a proper, a solid, and a sound blueprint. I want to suggest some of the things that should begin your life's blueprint. Number one should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your worth, and your own somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you're nobody. Always feel that you count. Always feel that you have worth. And always feel that your life has ultimate significance. Secondly, in your life's blueprint, you must have as a basic principle the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of endeavor. You're going to be deciding as the days, as the years unfold, what you will do in life. Are you going to go to college? Are you going to choose a trade? What your life's work will be. Whatever it is, set out to do it and do it well. And I say to you, my young friends, doors are opening to you, doors of opportunity that were not open to your mothers and your fathers. And the great challenge facing you is to be ready to face these doors as they open. Ralph Waldo Emerson, the great essayist, said in a lecture in 1871, if a man can write a better book or preach a better sermon or make a better mousetrap than his neighbor, even if he builds his house in the woods, the world will make a beaten path to his door. This hasn't always been true, but it will become increasingly true, and so I urge you to study hard, to burn the midnight oil. And I would say to you, don't drop out of school. I understand all the sociological reasons, but I urge you that in spite of your economic plight, in spite of your situation that you're forced to live in, stay in school. And when you discover what you will be in your life, set out to do it as if God Almighty called you at this particular moment in history to do it. Don't just set out to do a good job. Set out to do such a good job that the living, the dead, or the unborn couldn't do it any better. If it falls your lot to be a street sweeper, sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. Sweep streets like Beethoven composed music. Sweep streets like Lionetti Price sings before the Metropolitan Opera. Sweep streets like Shakespeare wrote poetry. Sweep streets so well that all the host of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, here lived a great street sweeper who swept his job well. If you can't be a pine at the top of the hill, be a shrub in the valley. Be the best little shrub on this side of the hill. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be a sun, be a star. For it isn't by the size that you win or fail. Be the best, whatever you are. So I shared with Dr. King and his sentiments for those students on that day in October at Barrett Junior High. And I think that if Dr. King was standing here on this stage speaking to all you beautiful people today, I'm sure he would say the same thing. That diversity is not only a strength, that it's a solution. Thank you so much again for allowing me to be here. Let's give a big round of applause to your teachers and your staff for making this program successful. Thank you so much and God bless.
All right, one more round of applause for Judge Gregory Scott. We are about to break out into our sessions for today. But before we do that, I would like to thank a couple people. I'd like to thank Mr. Dormer for opening up our building today and being in communication with me about the weather. And we really appreciate his new leadership in the district. Thank you, Mr. Dormer. I would also like to thank the teachers who are here today and the teachers who put this event together with the young scholars. I'd like to recognize Ms. Knopf. Can you stand up? I'd like to recognize Ms. Torres, Ms. Salazar, Ms. Davis, Ms. Bloom, Ms. Knobloch, and I know he can't stand because, as usual, he's behind the scenes running everything, Mr. John Doyle. And Ms. Leah Garman. Stand up, you get an extra round of applause. I would also like to recognize the other teachers in the audience. I can't really see from up here, but I know I saw Ms. Lobig and Ms. Bartlett. You heard Judge Scott say that teachers helped him get to where he is. I would like to recognize my gratitude towards the students. Can all of you guys please stand up? Every student in here, stand up. You got out on a really, really cold day, on your day off. And I know that people like to thank teachers, but on behalf of all of us teachers, we feel so lucky that we get to work for you and with you. You truly do change our lives. Thank you. I would also like to recognize our administration who is here today. Again, I did see Ms. Dunstan. Can you stand up? Dr. McGriff, Mr. Roth. Judge Scott already recognized Ms. Martina Walls, who was here when I first got hired. Ms. Walls, you truly made an impact at the high school, and we're so happy you're running Stewart. I would just like to say one more thing about Mr. Roth. Mr. Roth, I can't see, it's so hard up here. Hi, Mr. Roth. I can speak on behalf of the teachers and the students, and thank you to the district for hiring Mr. Roth. He has put a new light into this building. These groups that you all see here have been new since Mr. Roth has been here. Mr. Roth is probably the first leader I've ever seen talk openly and honestly about race and gender and sexuality and religion and ethnicity and immigration. Thank you, Mr. Roth. This building is completely different with you here, and we really appreciate you. Finally, I'd like to thank everyone in the community who has come. There are so many of you, and you always showed up at our events, and we are so, so grateful for you to be here today. Okay, so as the program goes, we're going to break off for about an hour into 4 different rooms, and then we'll have lunch. And then we have an amazing presentation by the STEP team.
Thank you again for coming out today. What an awesome event. I would say give yourselves a round of applause, but I made you do that so many times today. You know what, just do it again. Let's do it again. One more round of applause. Coming out in the cold on your day off when I know everyone would rather be just in bed watching Netflix. Gloria would like to acknowledge a couple of people right now.
I would like to acknowledge our alumni, our Young Scholar alumni, Thaddeus PA and Craig Lacy.
So this is, I think you've been graduated for what, 2 years now?
Yes.
And they have shown up consistently to our end of the year parties and to this event. And it just shows the dedication that people in Norristown have for their school. A lot of teachers went here and they're teaching here, Ms. Bartlett. And we have a couple other community members we want to give a shout out to. Councilman Hakeem Jones has been with us. Let's give a round of applause for him. Hakeem has really been part of our program ever since we created it about 6 years ago, and we're just so grateful for him as a role model to the kids, the work he does in the district and in town. Thank you so much. We have the NAACP over here. Round of applause. If you guys want to stop by their table, it's a great national organization. They have a strong foundation in Norristown, and I think that the high school would really love to form a better partnership with them. I also, where's Miss Siobhan? They're always around, Miss Siobhan Platt. If you don't know her, you've got to know her. If you know anything that's going on in town, she's always the first one to show up. The Young Scholars have been working with her for about, I think it's our 3rd year now, where we do a Hero Shiro presentation at the public library. So we would like to open that up to any kids who want to come. Ms. Siobhan's really creative. She'll have your picture up next to your Hero Shiro, and you do have to do a little research, kids, on who you're honoring. And we do have the STEP team to present, but that's going to be around 1 o'clock. We have a couple other performers today. In our spoken word breakout session today, we had some amazing performers, and we would like them to share today what they shared with our smaller group. So our first performer is a freshman. She is just such a leader, really coming up for her age. It's Miss Emily Trejo.
Trejo.
and she'll be presenting a spoken word piece. We need your hands. No.
This was originally written by Audrey Rodriguez, but I added my own words into it, just what I thought mostly fit into my life. It's called Checkmark Hispanic. Checkmark Hispanic. Christmas parties involve a variety of foods: glazed ham, maybe turkey, ponche, chocolate bolita, and presents aren't open until 12 o'clock. Birthday parties involve cakes, ice cream, piñatas, and goodie bags filled with cacahuates, chili lollipops, and mandarinas. The family gathers around to sing Las Mañanitas and Happy Birthday. Doesn't it seem easy to be Hispanic when all you experience is El Cinco de Mayo with tacos and burritos? Or gone to fiestas and dance La Marcha? When you go to your doctors with your parents, and you have to explain to them what the doctors are saying, when you don't understand the medical lingo that could save their lives. You translate for them so they're not scared. You're scared. When you forget your grandmother's name because she lives so far away, and your mother's heart gets broken every time you think you're better than her because you speak English. When you want to explain, but you can't find the right words in Spanish too. Is it easy when you are beaten down with dirty looks because you spoke some words in Spanish that other people didn't understand? Every time you read out loud, you cry on the inside because you let your accent slip out. When your parents and your family are the hardest workers you've ever seen, but the biggest stereotypes are lazy human beings. The name sounds so easy, except when it comes to yours. So many people risk their lives for el sueño americano. If only being Hispanic was as easy as check marking a box. If only it was that easy.
All right, thank you, Emily. Super brave freshman coming up here doing that. Janiya Meekins. Miss Janiya Meekins. Also a young woman I just had the privilege of working with in the last couple of weeks. Amazing kid, a lot of guts. Let's hear it for Janiya.
This is called If I Should Have a Daughter by Sarah Kay. I did this for the spoken word, so sorry if you already heard this. If I should have a daughter, instead of mom, she's going to call me Point B. Because that way she knows that no matter what happens, at least she can always find her way to me. And she's going to learn that this life will hit you hard in the face. Wait for you to get back up just so it can kick you in the stomach. But getting the wind knocked out of you is the only way to remind your lungs how much they like the taste of air. There is hurt here that cannot be replaced by band-aids or poetry, so the first time she realizes that Wonder Woman isn't coming, I'll make sure she knows she doesn't have to wear the cape all by herself. And baby, I'll tell her, don't stick your nose up in the air like that. I know that trick. I've done it a million times. You're just smelling for smoke so you can follow the trail back to a burning home to find a boy who lost everything in the fire to see if you can save him. Or else, find the boy who lit the fire in the first place to see if you can change him. But I know she will anyway. So instead, I'll keep an extra supply of chocolates and rain boots nearby because there's no heartbreak that chocolate can't fix. Okay, there's a few heartbreaks that chocolate can't fix, but that's what the rain boots are for. The rain will wash away everything if you let it. I want her to look at the world through the underside of a glass-bottom book, to look through a microscope at the galaxies that exist on the pinpoint of the human mind, because that's the way my mom taught me. That there'll be days like this, there'll be days like this. My mama said, when you open your hands to catch and wind up with only blisters and bruises. When you step out of the phone booth and try to find the very people you're trying to save are the ones standing on your cape. When your boots fill up with rain and you'll be up to your knees in disappointment, and those are the very days you have all the more reason to say thank you. Because there is nothing more beautiful than the way the ocean refuses to stop kissing the shoreline, no matter how many times it's sent away. You will put the win in win some, lose some. You will put the star in starting over and over. No matter how many landmines erupt in a minute, be sure your mind lands on the beauty of this funny place called life. And yes, on a scale from 1 to over-trusting, I am pretty dang naive, but I want her to know that this world is made out of sugar. It can crumble so easily, but don't be afraid to stick your tongue out and taste it. And baby, I'll tell her, remember your mama is a warrior, and your papa is a warrior, and you are the girl with small hands and big eyes who never stops asking for more. Remember that good things come in threes, and so do bad things. And always apologize when you've done something wrong, but don't you ever apologize for the way your eyes refuse to stop shining. Your voice is small, but don't ever stop singing. And when they finally hand you heartache, and they slip war and hatred under your door and offer you handouts on street corners of cynicism and defeat, you tell them that they really ought to be your mother.
Okay, great job, Janiya. Very powerful, beautiful performance. Our next performer is Miss Miana Wittington. Miana is an awesome girl. I just met at open mic night when we hosted our first open mic about 2 months ago. And Jada brought her. And she doesn't go here. She goes to Roosevelt. So I'm like, who is she? I'm trying to look for her. I'm emailing Dr. Queenan. And they were like, here, she's going to be in this period at this time. Call over Roosevelt. So finally, we got each other's number, and she has been more dedicated to this Martin Luther King Day than most people in this room. Can you guys just please give her a round of applause? If she says she's going to be there, she's there, and she's prepared. And guys, that's something you need to look up to. It's really important. So, and she's awesome at rapping too. So that's what she's going to do for you guys today, but her character is just something to be recognized.
Thank you. So I combined 2 songs together. The only way I'ma make it out here is to start grinding. When I do these things with no effort, I'm gonna start signing. When these people in my way, I make a brighter day, trying to see the only path when these people in my way. I make a brighter day when I smile all crazy. When these people acting tough, I get a little hazy. When I think about everything running through my head, I start to cry, shed a tear. When someone is a dead, my pain runs deep, cause I am kind-hearted. The only path will change me, so I don't ever try to trying to pull up with no problems, cause I may have to solve. The only path, my legacy, I'm trying to find my destiny, trying to pull up with my legacy so I can make things work. Trying to do this for my town, so no one is hurt. My family is the only thing that makes me happy. I'm trying to work hard so we can be so wealthy. Martin had a dream, and I know what it means to be a black woman of color, trying to see what the world really sees. Just stop all the please. All I want to say is, thank you, Mr. King. You tried to stop the violence, you tried to stop the harm. Built you with the jail, with hickets on your arms. You really had a dream, and I know what it said. You really had a dream, but now you are dead. This is for the people that didn't agree. This is the peace treaty from Martin Luther King.
Social media, you know I don't know how to call it out. Instagram, some.
That's store on the score.
Beautiful. All right, Craig doesn't really want to follow that, but. All right, so our final performer before we go to our step presentation is Mr. Craig Lacy. As we already stated, he graduated a couple years ago. And his career, he chose to do his career instead of go to school immediately. And he's one of those few people who actually put that dream into motion. He's on his grind. He's going to auditions. He's promoting himself. And one of the great things about him is that all his rhymes are always uplifting. They're always clean, just like Miana. So let's give a round of applause, Mr. Craig Lacy.
All right. Yeah. Listen, I said nowadays out here we living a dream. Yeah, we came from people
school, a lot of kings and queens making dollars. How to run the collar, man, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for young scholars. I make a lot of cheddar and it's all black like Batman. You just understand, coming in the scene, you a fan. Oh my goodness, they talking about you, the enemy, them people that believe in white supremacy. Man, they looking at me, say low, I'm a legacy, the hottest of the hottest. You ain't never top this. I don't like my exes because all of them are toxic, but if you know me, my lifestyle's too erotic. I be moving, they be talking about they losing. I got options, I be running through and choosing. You be rocking, and I show them what's up. I be in the cut, we ain't building walls with no truck. I said, what's up? Hold it, man, you know what I do. Know how I spit, you know the way I'm coming to get what I done. Don't hold it, man, they say wonder why. Norristown's where I graduated, I ain't a lie. I came from Brooklyn, came out of Bed-Stuy. Where you wear the wrong colors, man, a man might die. Say you wonder, boys bring the thunder. I'd rather throw my hands up there than be a gunner. Man, I lost my cousin, man, due to all the races. I'd rather have a queen in this world than have a basic. Many looking at us nowadays and be amazing. Me and the real stay real, you understood what I'm saying. Listen, my lifestyle's so real and life couldn't get it. A lot of people looking at me, you never forget it. But I say the truth, and everybody shooting shots, but everything I've been saying stay bulletproof. You know me, I'm playing, man, with the metaphors. Your boys aliens coming in like the Predator. I play calligraphy, you ain't never feeling me. The hottest of the lyrical, you can't play me lyrically, seriously. Hold a minute, talking about you feeling me. Better call Scooby-Doo, cause this is a mystery. I don't understand it, cause a lot of people hear me and now they start to panic. All black like a bandit, we ain't never heard it. Time and they be working, long little time, now they coming, they be hurting. Boy on the table, bleeding with the surgeon. I don't understand, the life is different when a person. I don't really see this, and he said he wonder why. I'm sick and tired seeing all my brothers and sisters die. Many looking at us getting older. Man, what, you trying to put a gun in us cause we on the corners? I don't understand it, we just trying to make some bread. Man, it's so sad that my little brother died and I never told a lie. Now they always wonder why. Grandma need money to my boy did homicide. I don't really understand it, now he's facing 50 to life. I don't really understand this isn't that right. I said, man, what you really mean? Said MLK, I said, dang, it was only a dream. I needed money, I needed change, I needed better. I live my life, so now they talking time of forever. Whatever, man, they talking it, they living this, getting this, the hottest of the lyricists, but you ain't never igging it. I don't think you killing it, I don't think you feeling it, and now they say they getting this. I said, this is my life and this is my desire. Man, young scholars and Mr. Maguire built me, and I'm right here, and I'm just this, and I'm this and that. Matter of fact, put them back on the track. Understood how they said this so good. Man, guess what? We all came straight from the hood. I wanted to bring the time, bring it back. Spit the bar, saying that, saying this and saying that. This beat is going on way too long, but guess what? I'm gonna freestyle that too long. I said open up my eyes, wonder why I'm so surprised. When the many looking at us transformers in disguise. I always come up with rhymes, and my voice is Autobots, and these boys is transformers like Decepticons. Man, I keep it ill if you can get this. Man, you keep on listening. Or the man, he saying that I'm tripping. Everybody really wanna listen. They say, yo, how we freestyling? It didn't say nothing explicit. Understood me? Boys never tripping. I be moving everywhere like we on a visit. But always staying moving, but I never lose my pivot. You live your own life, cause that's your own decision. Some voices in the street, some voices in college. I didn't go to college, but I still got this knowledge. A lot of people looking at us nowadays, they wildin'. For real, stay real, so why the heck should I be lying? I don't ever be flexing, oh, sorry, stressing. I just understood that a lot of people keep progressing. I don't, oh, wait. Let me catch y'all real quick. I said you ain't never liking it, they ain't never stopping this. I understood a lot of things, my life and my accomplishments. You ain't never loving this, many on some puppet stuff. But if many look at us, many better couple up. Man, you know me, I'm CeeLo and you'll be loving it. Man, I put you out to business like the government. Why? Because all these electors pick Trump. And why? Because everybody is stuck. They just worried about the economy, worried about Kanye. I don't really care, cause that stuff don't seem that easy. A lot of people look at it and it's all y'all believe me. I don't like Kanye, but dang, I love them Yeezys. I don't really see this. Shorty said she see this, and she loves CeeLo, know the flow, and I'm a genius. Off of my dome, boy, you never know. Haters looking at me like they missing chromosomes. I be moving in all black in the foreign. Haters always looking at me, I just always yawn. I just said it, you ain't never get it. You give me my dead, and I'll give you the credit. keep on moving and they working. Old girls on my phone hitting it, they lurking. Old shorties in my line talking about they wonder why. No worry by saying why is this kid still rhyming, still surviving. I said, there you done got this. 820 before you know your boy, you got this. I'm young with no ego. You know me, man, I be moving like we Nemo, popping up like it's bingo. Songs get stuck in your head like this is jingo. Song so high, your girlfriend got a ringtone. But you know what? This is it, the ego. It's my act, and that's the official CeeLo. We out. Happy MLK Day, everybody.
Alright, so if we have to go back to the Black high school teachers, we know who to bring in to fill up the time here. That was phenomenal. Wow. Round of applause, Mr. Craig Lacy. Okay, so I'm now going to hand the mic over to our step team. Who am I introducing? I know Jamie and Matt.
Where's Matthew?
La Brea, Day. Who's talking today? Well, oh, okay, all right. So Mr. Matthew McCrae and Miss Jamie Hunt. A round of applause.
Hi everyone. How you doing today? Ain't it a good day? It's always a good day.
We're gonna talk to you guys about STEP. How it is. Okay, so what is that? Okay, stepping or step dancing is a form of percussion dance in which participants use their entire bodies to use as instruments. It's a mixture of footsteps and clapping, you know, like stuff to make a sound. History of stepping. Stepping is a way of communication during slavery. So, okay, I don't even know what time. Okay, when slaves, they were in the gold mines, they were not allowed to talk. So the way they communicated was like with their bodies, called gumbo dancing. Now is the most known dancing in like fraternities and sororities. So now like it built and now it's like a bigger thing. So that's where it came from.
Alright, so fraternities and sororities. Some of these fraternities and sororities are part of the Divine Nine. So the Divine Nine are 9 historically Black Greek letter organizations that make up the National Hellenic Council. Each of these fraternities and sororities are rich in history and have been founded in historically Black colleges and universities called HBCUs. Alright, so the Divine Nine are Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, founded in 1906 in Cornell University. Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, founded in 1908 on the campus of Howard University. Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, founded in 1911 in Indiana University. Omega Psi Phi fraternity incorporated, founded in 1911 on Howard University. Delta Sigma Theta sorority incorporated, founded in 1913 on Howard University. Phi Beta Sigma fraternity incorporated, founded in 1914 on the campus of Howard University. Zeta Phi Beta sorority incorporated, founded in 1920 on the Howard University. Sigma Gamma Rho sorority incorporated founded in 1922 on Butler University, and Iota Phi Theta fraternity incorporated, founded in 1963 on the Morgan State University. Do we have any Divine Nine members here today? Okay. And can I ask what sorority you're a part of? Delta Sigma Theta.
Can you stand up?
Delta Sigma Theta. So we have 2 Deltas here today. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So that's the end of our presentation. Can we start? Where's Maguire? Okay, so can we start setting people up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, we mentioned in the beginning Miss Addison Williams' program, the 21st Century After School programs, but she wasn't here to hear it. So we just want to give her some props and some thanks. This is Miss Addison Williams. She's a very behind-the-scenes person. She does not work at the high. What she does is work with a federal grant, which is not anything that most of us teachers want to do. We want to be on the front lines with kids. But the stuff does not get done without knowing how to work those grants. So Miss Addison Williams started off with just a couple programs at the high, and now this year, her help and her grant money is helping us have all of these programs now. So please just a round of applause for Miss Karen Addison Williams. She does everything good that I'm bad at, like paperwork, compliance, following directions well. So thank you so much for your dedication to the young scholars for many years and now to the rest of the programs. Thank you so much. Oh, what are we doing now? Break out into groups. Okay.
Okay, so,
Wait, are you guys aware that you're all about to step?
Yeah. I'm a
yeah, I know that.
So yeah, surprise! You guys are gonna learn some 2 steps today, depending on which group you're in. So we have 2 steps to show you guys. So one groups are going to be doing one step, the other groups are going to be doing the other step. So we're just going to show you guys the steps.
I can show you the one step, and I can show you the other one. Okay? This is the second one. When they put all together, it sounds like 5, 6, 7. Sounds like that. So one group's gonna be with me, one group's gonna be with him, and then after we all get the hang of it and everybody get dancing, we'll come together. Okay? So, we're gonna.
Kids, no one is allowed to sit there. Adults, you're not allowed to sit there. Let's go.
So it's left, right. You don't keep them up. So you go left, bring down your left, and you hit your right. Okay? We're gonna do that again because I feel like I don't know what that is. Okay, so. So we're gonna start from your thigh. Come down with your left leg. Go under with your right. Hit your left, and then hit your right. Okay.
how you funny. In-town step